Asmongold helped this man regain control of his life. What is this?
Sometimes we
Asmongold changed my life. What the fuck?
Sometimes we find inspiration in the most unexpected places.
Okay.
For me, it was through the videos of a YouTuber and Twitch streamer named Asmongold.
That's me.
His raw
Hey.
honesty and unfiltered commentary were the catalyst for a transformation I never thought possible. This is a story of how his words resonated with me during one of the darkest periods of my life and inspired me to reclaim control. This is about a man who struggled with mental illness, familial separation,
Yep.
and years of self loathing. This is about how I found hope, strength, and purpose in Asmongold's message and took actionable
Wow.
steps to change my life.
Holy
Chapter
shit.
1: A Broken Family and a Broken Spirit. 11 years without my mom.
Oh.
My story begins with a family torn apart. When I was a teenager, my stepfather's failing business in the Philippines forced my mom to make a heartbreaking decision to work abroad and support us. She found a job as a carer and later as a healthcare assistant for the NHS in the UK.
Good for her.
For 11 years, we were separated. I grew up without her hugs, her
That sucks,
guidance,
man.
and her comforting presence. Her absence left a void in my life,
That
but
really
I knew
sucks.
she was sacrificing everything to provide for me. She endured sleepless nights, working long shifts, sometimes without rest for days, just to pay for my education. She carried the weight of two worlds on her shoulders: a family across oceans and a grueling job in a foreign
Yeah, it
land,
would suck.
battling mental illness. In 2016, at the age of 21, my life took a devastating turn. I experienced my first manic episode, followed by two more over the next 2 years.
Fuck.
I
Yeah.
was diagnosed with bipolar 1 disorder with psychotic features, a condition that would shape the
Shit.
next several years of my life. The illness robbed me of stability, relationships, and a sense of worth. 2016 to 2021, I lived alone in a small apartment, consumed by depression and hopelessness. Every day was a battle to finish my studies while grappling with the
It's
belief
crazy how many guys have to deal with this shit. And I feel like there's not enough of a support system for guys that are in this situation. And I think that these support systems that do exist are like extremely fucking toxic. Where it's like, oh, well, the reason why you're living this way, it's because of, women are hoes, or like it's because of the Jews, or it's because of, like some other thing. And there's not really there's not a positive message out there, right?
that I would
No, man,
die
nobody cares.
alone.
Yeah, no, it
Chapter
sucks.
2: The Long Road to Reunification.
Yeah.
Fighting for a new beginning. Despite the darkness, I held on to one dream: reuniting with my mom. I researched ways to leave the Philippines and discovered the adult dependent visa route
There you go.
to the UK. It was our ticket to being together again. But the journey was anything but smooth. We faced three visa rejections:
Just keep doing it.
tourist, student,
Yep.
and even the adult dependent visa itself. Each rejection felt like a dagger to the heart, but we refused to give up.
So how is it that this guy can't go over there just to spend time with his mom, but I go over to the UK and there's people that are like doing these like weird rape gangs and like stabbings all the time? I feel like the system that they have, there's something wrong with it. Yeah, there's something that's not. Yeah, ooh.
Finally, in
Little
2021, after
interesting,
a
huh?
long, arduous appeal process, we won, reunited but not whole. When I arrived in the UK, my mom was overjoyed, but her joy
for
turned
him.
to concern when she saw me. I was unkempt, overweight, and a shadow of the person she remembered. Despite being together again, my depression lingered. I even confessed to her that if she were to die, I'd have no reason to live.
Sure.
Chapter 3: The Turning Point. A Toxic Environment. Living with my mom's toxic husband made our home life unbearable. For nearly 3 years, his hostility and constant complaints created a tense and stressful environment. Despite my attempts to show love and gratitude, even thanking him for taking care of my mom, he remained antagonistic. One day, we
That makes
even
sense.
shouted at each other,
Yeah.
a culmination of years of suppressed frustration. By December 2024, my
It was like a
mom
month
and
ago.
I had had enough. We moved out to start fresh,
Wow.
free from the toxicity that had plagued our lives. But the real transformation began months earlier, in March 2024, when I stumbled upon two videos by Asmongold. The first
Uh-oh.
video, they
Uh-oh.
said lose weight, he said okay.
They said lose weight. He says, okay. Like, he doesn't go on Twitter and, like, somebody tells him to lose weight. He talks about, like, writes this thing out. Like, oh, I'm being fucking fat shamed. Like, I can't believe this is happening. Society's out to get me. Like, everything's trying to ruin my life, bro. Like, hoflation is making it to where I can't get a girlfriend.
In March 2024, I watched a video titled They
true.
Said Lose Weight, He Said Okay.
Yep.
It featured Asmongold discussing someone's weight loss journey with his signature blend of humor and brutal honesty. His words
Say
struck
that.
a chord, planting a seed of inspiration in my mind. Yet the thought of changing my own life felt insurmountable.
I don't think that's
I
true.
had dreams of
Yeah, I don't think that's true at all. This dude made his way all the way over to the UK. This guy's a guy that makes shit happen. He wanted to be with his mom. He did it. Yeah, straight up. Like, I mean, I could easily assume that this guy would have made it happen. Because there's some people that just, they don't have control over their own life.
healthy body, but no action plan to achieve it.
Yeah.
The video lingered in my mind, a spark waiting to ignite. The second video, Asmongold's powerful message to viewers who envy his life. Then came the
while ago.
video that changed
It was
everything.
like 2 or 3 years ago.
Asmongold's powerful message to viewers who envy his life.
remember this.
In this video, Asmongold delivered a powerful message.
I think that ultimately you have to look and think about. Damn, bro. Like, we're talking about Shadowland. Just whenever I remember I farmed that rare spawn, where, like, you had to hit all the gongs. And like then they would spawn, like, and then you would get like this mount, and it was like a unicorn or some shit, but it was stupid and it looked worse than a unicorn that was already in the game. Oh man, remember that? About what the time that you invest yourself in gets that you get out of it. Yeah. False? Are you crazy? You guys act like you have no control over your life. Like, the cards are just already set for you. Yeah. Like, you just, like, you can only do this little small thing in your life, and you have no control over your own destiny. That's right. Take control. Take things into your own hands. This is like 3 years ago. Stop waiting on somebody else to give you something. Yeah. Stop waiting on somebody else to allow you to be yourself. Yeah. Take it for yourself. Do something that you need to do. I feel like a lot of streamers do that too. They're like waiting for like their like opportunity rather than trying to like create it for themselves.
You act like you have no control over your destiny.
Yeah, you do whatever you
Take
want.
control. Those words hit me like a lightning bolt. For
Yeah,
years,
I grew up. Everybody said you can't spend your whole life sitting at home playing video games. I said, why not? They said, because you can. And I said, why? It's bad, yeah. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Why not? Do whatever the hell I want.
I had resigned myself to being a victim of my circumstances. I blamed my diagnosis, my past, and external forces for my misery. But Asmongold's message forced me to confront the harsh truth. I was the only one who could change my life. Chapter.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. Exactly. There are bad things that happen to you and they're not your fault, but it's still your responsibility of whether you're going to overcome them or not. Right? So, like, everybody has like bad RNG outcomes that happen to them. But if you can't overcome that, then, I mean, nobody really gives a shit, right? I mean, there's billions of people in the world. Who cares? This is it. And so I think this is a huge problem that a lot of people have. And I think it's kind of like, and the problem now is that I feel like social media kind of enables this kind of a message. It enables a message of learned helplessness of blaming every negative outcome in your life on an external factor, and just in general, just complete apathy and a lack of control. The way I look at it is that I view every bad thing that happens to me as it being my fault. That is like my starting point. Now, it might not necessarily be the ending point, and sometimes bad things happen and they're not your fault, but in a lot of cases, they are. And even when things that are bad happen to you, like here's a good example. You go and you go to a bad part of town and you leave a PS5 in a car unlocked and the PS5 gets stolen. Well, nobody should steal. And that happened to you. That's unfair that somebody stole it from you. But you did put yourself in a situation that would be a high probability for this bad thing to have occurred. And so you can reduce the probability of bad things happening to you while at the same time acknowledging that some things bad will happen no matter what. And so that's it. And it's a perspective that implies agency, and it implies control and autonomy rather than passive behavior and just kind of letting things happen to you. Things don't happen to you. You do things that cause things to occur. Yeah, what can go wrong? What will go wrong? Yeah, exactly.
4. The plan for transformation. Discovering the right tools.
Some people call that victim blaming. Oh, yeah, it is. I am blaming victims in some cases. Absolutely. That is what happened. A lot of people become victimized by things because they let it happen. Like here's an example. If you go into like a zoo enclosure, like Harambe is like a little kid, right? So I'm not going to use that example, but like in general, if you go into a zoo enclosure and then the zoo animals kill you, you're a victim, right? But you're also a victim of natural selection. So when you have bad things happen to you, it is like two things can be true at the same time. It shouldn't have happened, and also that you could have done more to prevent it from happening. That's it. So the whole idea of victim blaming is generally stupid to me. Yeah, that's it. Bullshit's healthy? Yeah, exactly. And what the fuck do you expect? Yeah, Harambe's a good example as well. Yeah, and so what if you get mugged? Well, it depends on why. Like, for example, so if you get mugged somewhere and then you go down the same place again and then you get mugged again, whose fault is it? Why were you there in the first place? Like, did you actively decide to forego your better judgment to go somewhere where you got mugged? And also, sometimes, again, it's a matter of a point of reference and a starting point, not a finishing point. So there are some cases where people do just randomly have bad things happen to them. Like, you don't ask a kid with cancer, wow, why'd you let this happen to yourself? There are a lot of cases where bad things happen to you and there's no control that you have over it, but it's a starting logical reasoning point that is more healthy than blaming it on something else. Of course, there's going to be bad RNG, but you shouldn't start there.
Determined to take control, I began researching how to improve my physical and mental health. I discovered Dr. Jason Fung's work on intermittent fasting, Dr.
I do that every
Eric
day.
Berg's teachings on the keto diet, and Dr. Ken Berry's advocacy for the carnivore diet. I also delved into Dr. Christopher Palmer's insights on metabolic psychiatry, which explained how nutrition could impact mental health. Implementing the plan. I adopted a carnivore diet and combined it with intermittent fasting. Within days, my depression and dark thoughts lifted.
It's not, bro. See, these like vegans and shit like this getting depression. Oh yeah, I'd be depressed too if I couldn't have a fucking steak. What are you talking about? Absolutely. Yeah, if somebody's depressed, have them eat a steak every day for 2 weeks. Problem solved.
It felt like magic. But it was the science of ketosis,
30 pounds lost. That's
fueling my brain with
50 pounds
ketones
lost.
Instead of glucose.
It says you lost 60 pounds in 5 months.
That made the difference.
That's insane.
Over the next 6 months, I lost 70 pounds.
Holy shit.
More importantly, I reclaimed my sense of agency and self-worth. Dr. Rachel Brown and the path to hyperbolic tapering. Dr. Rachel Brown, a metabolic psychiatrist, has been instrumental in guiding me toward a safe and evidence based approach to tapering off antipsychotic medication. Her expertise in
Yeah,
metabolic
I've
psych
always had the mindset. I'm not a doctor, by the way, but like I don't like to ever take medicine. I don't want to ever put anything in my body that doesn't need to be there, except for like I feel like I cap out on soda. Like my quota for like doing unhealthy things is capped out by soda by itself, and so I don't do anything else besides that.
psychiatry, a field that connects mental health and metabolic health, helped me not only
Yeah.
better understand the long term impact of medications, but also find a sustainable path forward.
I feel like also, so you look at like the entire time of human history. Like let's say this is how long humans have existed. If I put my hands next to each other, the individual like fucking atoms between my fingers that were not covered would be the amount of time that we've spent as human beings not being physically active. Whenever I like as a kid, you guys might not believe this, but as a kid, I would spend 8 hours a day being physical, doing things outside. I'd spend 8 hours a day playing video games. I would spend 8 hours a day sleeping. That's how it would be every single day. And I remember when I got suspended and I started being physical again. And I was, doing things physical for like 4 to 6 hours a day. I felt way better. Everything was fine. Whatever the problem was, wasn't there anymore. Yep. Yeah. I just immediately, right? Climb 2 months. Yeah. And that's it. You're exercising regularly, all that shit. Like, yeah, can I be physical? Chill out. Yeah, and so the body, like a human body is meant to move around. You're meant to be active. You're meant to exercise. So like if you're not doing that, like you are, like you think you're going to undo the programming of millions of years in like what 20 years? That's not going to happen. Like are you stupid? The fuck? Did the same, didn't work. Each body's different. No, that's true. But what do you think the odds are? Like you want to flip a coin. Which side do you think it's going to land on?
For the past 8 years, I was on paliperidone palmitate,
Yeah.
a long-acting injectable antipsychotic. This
Oh,
form of medication, while convenient for
geez.
many, left me feeling I had little control over my own treatment.
Damn.
The fixed doses and long-lasting effects made adjustments challenging and at times frustrating. But with Dr. Brown's guidance, I recently transitioned to an oral liquid form of risperidone, which I take using a syringe orally for
That's a
precise
lot better.
dose adjustments. This switch has been transformative, giving me the tools to take charge of
Yeah.
my tapering process. Dr. Brown introduced me to
I
the
remember I
concept.
had the same thing happen. Like I was like really stressed out and I didn't realize how bad it was like negatively affecting me. And then I had like this blood pressure, like they gave me a reading on my blood pressure. They said it was 194. And I was like, I'm gonna die. And so I just decided like at that point, you can calm the fuck out. You calm the fuck down. Chill out. And I just consciously was like, I'm just gonna dial things back. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna chill out. Everything's gonna be fine. Just chill out. And I did. I've tried really hard to do that.
Of hyperbolic tapering, an approach rooted in pharmacological science.
And
Unlike
by the way, I took 2 months after that of changed behavior, regular daily exercise, like a more balanced diet, and again, like just less conscious focus on stress, and went from that 194 to 180 down to 125 or 135. I forgot which one it was.
abrupt cessation or
Yeah.
linear tapering, hyperbolic tapering involves gradual reductions that become progressively smaller over time.
Yeah.
This method minimizes the risk of withdrawal symptoms, such as rebound psychosis, a serious condition where symptoms return with greater intensity after stopping the
No surprise
medication
there.
too quickly. Planning is crucial in a process like this, and with Dr. Brown's help, I have set a timeline to begin tapering in May 2025.
Good for him.
The journey is expected to take approximately 2 years. While this might seem lengthy, the gradual pace is essential to allow my brain and body to adapt to each reduction. Rushing
Smart.
the process could lead to destabilizing withdrawal effects, undoing the progress
Good.
I've
I find a
worked
doctor
so
does that
hard
right.
to
Yeah, I
achieve.
know.
Dr. Brown's approach goes beyond just the mechanics of
Well, you can
tapering.
say this is a man of action, right? This is a guy that took accountability for his own life and tried to change things. Like, this is what happens if you do that.
She has encouraged me to support my mental health through lifestyle interventions such as ketogenic, carnivore diet, and intermittent fasting, which align with her metabolic psychiatry philosophy.
Yep.
These strategies have helped me build resilience and maintain stability, making me feel confident about my ability to taper successfully. Chapter 5: Lessons
Smart.
Learned. The importance of personal agency.
This is the yep.
Asmongold taught me that personal agency is vital. Without it, individuals become passive victims of their
Yep.
circumstances. Reclaiming agency means taking responsibility for your actions and decisions. It's not easy, but it's the only path to true freedom.
Yeah, nobody else is going to save you. Nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to help you. Nobody's going to like come out and like make things better for you. Is going to solve all your problems. It's not going to happen. So like if you can't solve your own problems and your life sucks, well then I guess you're dead basically, right? I mean like I guess you're going to die that way. And nobody's going to care. And that's it. It's over.
Health as the
So
foundation.
you either fix it or you don't.
Health is the cornerstone of a fulfilling life. By prioritizing my physical and mental well being, I
Yeah,
gain
bye.
the
Yeah.
energy, clarity, and confidence to pursue my goals. Cutting out carbs, sugar, and excuses was the
Yeah.
first step in building a better life. Discipline breeds freedom.
Yeah.
Discipline is not a limitation, it's a pathway to freedom. By sticking to my diet and exercise routine, I broke free from the cycle of self sabotage. Each small
Many people are a slave to their own self-indulgence. And like they can't stop doing something that's bad for them and it hurts them and it makes things worse and they just let it happen.
victory reinforced my belief in my ability to succeed. Chapter 6: Paying It Forward. Sharing my journey. This video is my way of extending Asmongold's message to others who may feel lost. If you're struggling, know that change is possible. You have the power to take control of your life. Resources to help you take control of your life. If you're ready to start transforming your life,
That's right.
here are
It's that
some
simple.
ways I can guide you on your
It's a really
journey.
good video. Yeah, it is.
Substack newsletter. Win your life back. This is your daily roadmap to success. I share strategies that help me lose 70 pounds and improve
Jesus.
my mental health. From meal
If I
plans
lost
and
70
fasting
pounds, I'd be
schedules to mindset exercises and progress trackers. This newsletter is designed to help you lose up to 100 pounds in a year, boost your energy, and reclaim control of
Damn.
your life. Medium blog, insights and inspiration. On Medium, I write about personal stories and lessons I've learned from my own journey. Topics include mental health, nutrition, and technology, all aimed at providing you with actionable advice and fresh perspectives.
See, like I think that's one of the really healthy things is that for a lot of people, they think that it's hard to find healthy, non-toxic like places to get information. Because a lot of people like they want to help you and the way that they help you is by you buying their course. Okay. Okay. That's a huge issue.
YouTube channel, Exploring Life and Growth. On my YouTube channel, I cover a range of topics from mental health and diet to movies and
Yeah.
personal development. Through video essays and
Hustlers
discussions,
University? Yeah,
I share my
exactly.
experiences and insights to inspire and inform others. Each resource is tailored to a different aspect of growth, giving you the tools, knowledge, and motivation to take charge of your life.
So somebody says, how do they make money then? Here's the problem. Number one, I feel like a resounding good message will make money. It just won't make you maybe enough money to buy 5 Bugattis. Number two, if you create a profit incentive for something, you then create a trend that will cause you to move towards more of that profit, because humans and people are naturally greedy. And so what happens is that as you create that profit incentive, you also create looking for ways to increase the amount of profit and money that you're making. And I think this is the case with a lot of people. And what happens in that process is that you remove the parts of agency that you give people. And then because a lot of people, they don't want self-help. They want validation for their own bad behavior. And so what happens is that when you have people putting out content that's effectively just validation for their bad behavior, well, then that's exactly what you're going to get. Validations for indulgence, exactly. And so that's the issue.
Whatever stage you're at, there's something here for you. Links down below.
Yeah.
Thank you, Asmongold. Asmongold, you'll probably never know the full impact you've had on my life, but I owe you my deepest gratitude. Your unfiltered honesty, raw vulnerability, and relentless pursuit of truth
I try.
gave me the push I desperately needed. When I was at my lowest, your words cut through the noise, reminding me that life doesn't have to spiral endlessly out of control. Your message that we all have the power to change isn't just a catchy mantra. It's a lifeline. It's a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there's a spark within us waiting to be ignited. For me, that spark turned into a flame that burned away years of self-doubt, unhealthy habits, and inertia. You taught me that taking control isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up, making one small decision at a time.
Think about that with streamers. How many streamers are fucking lazy? They don't show up, they don't stream. It's like, how are you going to be a streamer? You don't stream.
And choosing to believe in the possibility of something better. And because of you, I did. I'm not just lighter physically. I'm lighter emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I've reclaimed my health, rediscovered my confidence, and I'm building a life that once felt out of reach. And it all started with a choice. A choice I made because your message reminded me that it was mine to make. Thank you, Asmongold, for being more than just a streamer. Thank you for being a voice of reason, a source of inspiration, and a testament to the power of owning your journey. You didn't just change my life, you saved it. This has been Billy Poon. Subscribe to be healthy. Steaks on me.
Okay. He saw the steak video too. That's good, man. What a nice guy. That's incredible. I had no idea. Wow. I'll link you guys the video. What a good message. Yeah, that's such a great message. Yeah, just a small content creator just made a video, and yeah, good for him, man. That's awesome. And yeah, wow. Is it a glazing video? Well, I mean, he's showing appreciation, so if you don't like me, I bet it is glazing. Yeah, there you go. And check Sean Ryan's X ASAP. Yeah, sure, I'll look at it in a minute. Let me go back and I'll find Sean Ryan's. Okay, just remind me about that in a minute if I forget. But yeah, no, I think that this is, I think it's very true, and I think more people need to realize it. It's actually so easy to take control of things. Like, oh, well, it's not easy, it's so simple. There are a lot of things that are extremely hard to do, but they are extremely simple to explain. So, for example, like eat healthy and exercise more. That's effectively what you need to do, but it's just really hard for a lot of people to do that. So people like intellectualizing problems and like over intellectualizing them to the point to where they no longer have any accountability for their actions, you know? I'll link you guys the video one more time. Give it a like, give the guy a sub. What a good guy. And congratulations for him. And also, I would say, like, yeah, I hope I gave him some encouragement, but at the end of the day, he really helped himself. He did it, right? I didn't do shit. He did it. Like, and that's the whole point.